Hey, it's Mark with another Super Bowler Smash Attack video, and today we've got a Center Town Hall base. Let's start with the game plan and figure out where the Flame Flinger is going to come in first of all. It's the Center Town Hall, so there's not going to be a Town Hall takedown with the Flame Flinger. Second thing is to look for the expos, and there are a couple of expos kind of over in this corner, and there are a couple more expos over on this side. And so those expos are a little bit more kind of in the center. They're kind of more on the side. They're not in the center. Like there's not an expo like right where this Grand Warden is, more toward the corner. It's kind of off to the side more. And these expos are air expos, actually all four of them. They're all four are air expos. And so that does make it a little bit more of an option to come in from one of those corners. Let's check the other corners. The mortars there's one here, 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 and here. So there's kind of just one in every corner, and they're mostly pretty much on the outside, so they should be pretty easy to handle. So that shouldn't be a problem. I could put the Flame Flinger on at 3 o'clock or at 9 o'clock, as that's a possibility. There's not a lot of defenses though. I mean, the Flame Flinger is not going to run into any heavy contention in either one of these quarters, so that's good. But when we look at the buildings and what are defenses, there's a mortar and there's a archer tower, and then the rest of these buildings are just trash buildings. So there's not very many defenses in that corner. Then the Flame Flinger would probably go for it, sort of depending on what side it's leaning. Well, if it takes down that, like say it takes down this air defense, probably a good chance that it's going to go to that archer tower next. Yeah, and maybe come in. I mean, it could work in that corner, but it'd be nicer if there were more defenses for it to work on. But let's say we do that. So where's the Warden gonna go? And so if I put the Flame Flinger in at 3 o'clock, at 6 o'clock for the Warden, there are quite a few buildings over here for the Warden to work through at 6 o'clock. And so we get down this air defense. The thing that I don't like about the 6 o'clock spot is this monolith. I mean, if that monolith targets the Warden, that's big trouble for the Warden. And so I would be leery about putting the Warden in on that side. So let's go at 12 o'clock. How about the Warden there? And it's kind of a similar problem because of this defensive Grand Warden. On both sides, there's sort of that heavy hitting. I mean, that's definitely a problem for the Grand Warden as well. So if there's a Grand Warden or the monolith there, probably going to have to use some kind of spells to help the Warden out because they hit so hard. And so that makes me want to use the Grand Warden at either 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock, where things are going to be, a lot easier going. The Warden is just there to funnel the corner, and it doesn't necessarily have to take out some big defense, because it can take a while for the Warden to work through a lot of buildings. It won't take it to the Warden very long to work through these trash buildings, though, because it does a lot of damage. I wouldn't want to put the Flame Flinger at 6 o'clock because of the monolith. The monolith would take down the Flame Flinger. At 12 o'clock, though, the monolith can take down the Grand Warden. It outranges the Grand Warden. So it would be okay from that side. And then there's the king here, and there's the expo on this side. Well, there's the builder hut on this side of the Grand Warden. I think by the time the Grand Warden goes down, this battle builder is probably going to go down because of the fire spirits from the Flame Flinger. Yeah, I am kind of liking the idea of coming in at 12 o'clock with the Flame Flinger to set the funnel there. I mean, to set the funnel, we've got to take out this Grand Warden, is what we have to do. And then place a jump probably like in between, like to the right of this bomb tower, maybe like on this wall piece here, roughly, to get the jump to go, from this wall to this wall, and get into that central compartment with the town hall. This is a case where I do want to get the bowlers into that town hall compartment, because if I don't jump them into that compartment, then it means that they could just sort of circle around it, and I don't want that to happen. The other thing that's could be good about coming in from this 1030 side is the queen is over here. Of course, there's a warden we talked about, and then there's the king. And so if I can take out the king and the queen on the initial push, that would be really good, because then we don't have those are probably the two biggest heroes to take out for this army. And if we can take them out with the raged up bowlers on that main entry, that would be really good. And there is a chance that the warden could take out the queen. The queen could cause a problem for the warden, and so that would be something to watch out. But it is possible for the warden to take out the queen, and if the warden can outrange the queen, I mean, the warden does outrange the queen, but sometimes what will happen is if the warden targets the queen will be sort of moving around, and sometimes the queen will move far enough away from the warden that it will make the warden step up. And when the warden steps up, that will put the warden in the range of the queen, and then the queen will go after the warden. And so that's kind of the biggest thing to watch out for, because the warden could go down very quickly if the queen targets him. But sometimes the queen moves around, and the warden can take out the queen even without the queen doing anything about it. And so that's ideal. So yeah, that's the game plan. And so let's see how things pan out. And so the Yeti and the Flame Flinger behind, as usual for the entry. The Loons there on that mortar, I just decided to take that mortar out right away, speed up the Flame Flinger a little bit, and not have to worry about the Yeti going out of range from that mortar. I could have used another Yeti on that mortar to take it out, but I don't know. In that case, I just decided to use Loons to kind of help speed it up, and I still have a Yeti to use here to help in some way. Super Wallbreak to start the entry. Warden is clearing out that corner and targeting the queen, just watching to see if the queen will move out of range, and she's not. So the warden takes down the queen, which is perfect. And now the warden is, the warden's side is completely established. The Yeti goes down to help with more funneling. Here comes the main troops. with a little bit under 2 minutes. This is a good time to bring the troops in, just under 2 minutes. Should be plenty of time to finish the base. The king is coming over. Here comes the headhunter. Rage up the troops. The jump is already down to get into the core. But super bowlers are raged coming in. They'll get raged again coming into the core. Poison the lava pups. And here comes the royal champion. As soon as the super bowlers get into the center, and they're going to take some time to work there, that's when I bring in the royal champion, and I put down that skeleton spell to help tanking for the royal champion. That's definitely a thing that I like to do. And there the monolith is hitting the royal champion, but Diggy saves the royal champion in that case. Royal champion ability clears out the rest of the defenses and the monolith in that compartment, and so there aren't heavy defenses left now. Here comes the queen on the backside, but there's nothing left in this base that's going to cause a problem for the queen. The royal champion is down, so it's up to the warden and the queen now to clear the rest of the buildings. And we're a little bit lighter on troops here, just because this bottom corner has defenses, so I couldn't put any wizards down in this corner because of these defenses. I had to wait until something came to target. But there's going to be just enough time for the cleanup troops and for the queen to come in with her ability to finish off this base. No problem. So there's another example of a super bowler 3-star attack.